welcome to another episode of Villager Haven, otherwise known as my Let's Create series. So, right now, at this very moment, I just learned something. If you look at tall grass, you'll get this really close-up thing. I didn't know that. So, I'm actually recording this after I've done everything for this episode. So, as you can see, I have yet to change my skin because I've yet to make it because I didn't have time to do a lot between episode 1 of this and episode 2. But right now I'm gonna have to go head out and get some clay and gather a bunch of materials for us to, for me to show you an example of what kind of buildings I want to make and sort of the theme, a very rough theme of what the village is going to look like. So, look forward to that, and I'll see you guys over at the Mesa biome. Alright, see you there. Alright, here I am in the Mesa biome, and unfortunately, tragedy has struck with this recording, and for some reason, I don't have any in-game audio sound or any of my microphone going. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to talk over myself, and I apologize for the lack of in-game sound, but I don't know why it decided not to record in-game sound or my microphone, even though I set it to that. Like, I personally did it, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that for next episode, but for now, I'm collecting a bunch of clay because, as you know, my palette is going to be a lot of sort of this pinkish orange. It's going to be the main theme. It's going to be sort of the path. And also I'm going to use a lot of clay in the actual building. I like clay mainly because it's very seamless and it offers a whole lot of new possibilities in colors that we didn't have before. And I've used clay. I used clay when it first came out, back before I had a world before that I loaded in before Mesa biomes, and I actually gathered actual clay, and then I smelted it to make hardened clay. But now we have the luxury of doing this, so right now I'm just gonna continue excavating this area, this little mountain, and oh man, that was steep. So let me show you right now this little mountain that I'm going down. So far I have like 4 layers done. So I'm going to continue doing this. Go as far as my pick will let me. And I'll see you guys when I'm going back to the village so we could start working on some things. Alright. See you over there. Oh, okay. Alright, so here I am running back to the, what is it called? The village. Sorry, I had to check my settings there. So right now I've collected all the clay. My inventory is full of everything, all the things, and I've broken my pick. And I spent the night over at the Mesa biome because I didn't want to return here when it was nighttime. I want to preserve these villagers for as long as I can. So I sleep through the night, and it's a lot of running, like far away from here, or I stay very, very close to here, and fall asleep. So I'm either like 1,000 blocks away, or I'm like 100 blocks away. So I'm gonna show you basically the perimeter I have set out at the moment, even though I keep telling myself I want to expand it and I want this entire plains and forest biome to become a desert biome. I have to limit myself, for at least right now, because holy crap holy just crapola at all the work that I'm gonna have to put into it. So as you can see, I have a bunch of dirt, I have a bunch of sand that I need to get out of my inventory very, very quickly. I have some regular hardened clay. I think I have some orange clay. I have like very few brown clay. I have, yeah, a stack and a half of yellow clay. And right, yeah, I just need to empty out my inventory, get a little bit of food, make some new picks to get ready for just the granite that going to have to go get, because I have very little granite, and granite is like the block that's actually inspiring this entire build, because I feel like it's very homey to me. It's not homey to a lot of people, so using, that adjective doesn't really work. But granted, it feels very homey to me, even though, Mexico is not really my home country nor my homeland. It is, the land of my parents. It's the land of my ancestors and family. So it feels very homey because I remember going there and seeing that color palette, and like I forget who said it in my last episode. I don't have my phone near me. If not, I'd give you credit. But someone said that America's colors are very monotone in just how few there are being used. It's not so much monotone that it's only one color, but it is monotone in the fact that it's very few colors, as opposed to many other cultures, including Mexico's, who use a lot of colors in a lot of things. And, some people think it's a little bit, overkill, but I don't. I like it. I love it. It's, like I said, my homeland. It's not my homeland, but it feels like home. Um, so right now I'm just gonna be doing all my chores. This is what I do all the time. All I do is I run around these 3 farms. I have this one here. I have the one in the back, which is, no, that one's not wheat. It has a little bit of everything. And I just run around. I gather my crops in the morning or right before I go to sleep, depending on, when I had to head out. I also need a bunch of food before I head out to my mining area, which is, I believe, 1,000 blocks away in both directions. So I need to get some patatas, as baked baked potatoes are called in. Actually, it's um Spanish, as I like to call it, Spanish. If you ever hear me say Spanish, it means Spain Spanish, because Spain is technically correct the correct way of pronouncing things. But um obviously I'm not from Spain, but I do understand some of, Spanish idioms. So every once in a while I follow someone called El Rich MC, and he's from Spain, so I hear all his idioms. So right now I'm gonna run off, gonna get a bunch of food. I'm gonna run off over to the mining area, get a whole bunch of granite. I'm not gonna make you guys endure that. I'll just come back and have an inventory, or however much 3 picks will get me of granite. So I'm just gonna wait around to get a little bit of food and then run off. So I'll see. I know I have a fairly inefficient furnace setup. Shut up. I'll see you guys there, or when I'm coming back. Alright, I'm back, and I was going to show you the view from the top, but I decided to show you this technique in case you guys didn't know it. All you have to do is, put a block, put a side torch, and then put a gravity affected block there. You could also put it on a torch like that, but it's out of custom that I'm really used to doing it this way. I don't know if there was a time where you can only put it on upright, or you couldn't put it on upright. I can't remember at this point. But so this is what you do. You pillar up. I'm gonna do a stack of blocks, and I'm gonna show you the perimeter, which I've lined in sand. So 1, to make it easier for me to see, and 2, so I know, where the edge is once I start putting in the sand and making this a lush desert. And when I say lush, it's still going to be a desert. I just want green grass. So let me adjust my settings. This will look better at 12. Let's go back, and bam. Let me take off the clouds because they're in the way. Oh, I didn't realize you could do Fast and Fancy Clouds? Has that always been there? When was that added in? I feel like it's been a while. I have never thought about it. But anyway, here it is. You can just faintly see the outline of sand there, and that's the edge to where I want to make it a desert. But I'm thinking in the long run I'm gonna make the entire thing desert. But for now, that's my my border. So I want to do the village closer to the water rather than not. I sort of want to make it like homey, feeling like Greece, like sort of like that, but I don't know. I have a lot of research to do. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, I have um I'm I'm debating where I want to do it. The building, I think I want to do something on the mountains, but I might have to terraform it a lot. I'm either gonna knock down the tall mountain, or I'm gonna fill it out and connect it with the medium sized one, and then terraform that. I'm debating it because there's the forest biome that I'm outlining right now, and it has more of a blue green grass. For those of you who can't tell, have that color blindness that can't tell the difference between shades, and then there is the plains. Also, that what I'm outlining now is also another forest biome. But that one, you can just barely tell. I left the stumps of the trees I cut down because I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to leave it a forest. But for now, I needed to, cut it down to see what that looked like. And plus, it never hurts to have a surplus of what is it called, wood in the beginning. So everything else that's not those two forest areas are plain areas. And if you don't know the difference between the grass of plain areas and forest areas have a more bluish tint to their grass, and plain areas have more of a yellow green. Not as severe as it is in the desert, but enough to make it feel different. So I'm still trying to decide whether or not I'm going to fill that in. I might fill it in, I might not. I don't know. It'll depend. Sorry, thought I heard something. I'll have enough, what are they called? Enough dirt to fill it in at the end of this project. So, and bam, that's all you have to do. Hold on, give me a second. Sorry about that. I thought that my father needed something. He didn't. So yeah, that's all you have to do. You just jump off a large pillar, and then you're safe. So make sure you do that near water, or slime blocks or something. Let me change my render distance back to 8, so it's not super laggy. And all you have to do to fix this is my favorite part of sand pillaring up. And if you'll recognize this, I also did this for the intro, except I did it with red sand. But it's one of my favorite visual effects in Minecraft, seeing sand fall and not crush you to death. It's really cool. So I'm gonna run off up here. Oh yeah, don't mind that. That was a failed. That's, if you remember from episode 1, I had a transition where I was digging down and I was gonna break that block, and then bam, I was gonna fall out of that thing and into the water and go sploosh. But you guys only heard the sploosh because that part of the file got corrupted or something. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the recording program I'm using because sometimes it does weird stuff. But anyways, now I just need to find an area to start building. I want a fairly flat area. Maybe I'll do it over here near the water. I feel like that's a better option. Now to clear away this, luckily for you guys, you don't have the the in-game audio for this because this was really loud and very annoying. I didn't speak during this time because all you heard was like that sound it makes. Grass is my least favorite part of this game. I like bone mealing afterwards and stuff, but during it, it's the worst. Clearing out areas is the worst. Alright, so I brought a bunch of granite, some clay, my very small assortment. So this is what I'm thinking about the path. It is a direct ripoff of Vintage Beef's path. I'm thinking I'm also going to put in like cobblestone or like some sort of other stone that's not granite, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I'm just gonna uproot a little bit of the ground, and now I'm gonna spam some granite around. Bam, 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 bam. And now I'm going to speckle in some of the other blocks, like the regular hardened clay, and also a little bit of dirt. But I'm gonna revise this in a second. Don't worry about it. But that's mainly what it's gonna look like. It'll look a lot better with sand around it or with not green grass around it. It's really detrimental with that. So, but that's what it's gonna look like, and it's gonna be really packed. This entire village is gonna be very packed. It's not gonna be like buildings right up next to each other because we are gonna have, intersections. It's if you guys watch Vintage Beef, it's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be similar to that, but because I am gonna make it feel more organic rather than a large circle, I'm gonna start building this. So I'm gonna use yellow stained clay because it contrasts the most. So this is sort of what I'm thinking I'm going to do. Just a little angled door, and let me fill that in so I won't have a problem once I start putting in the doors. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the angle at what to do this in. So let's see. Now let's jump up here because I also want to do like a second story thing, sort of like a balcony overlooking thing, but not really, just so it's like it has a lip. There we go. Oh, misplacing blocks like a boss. Almost falling like a boss. So I'm gonna do this for a little bit, and I will see you guys once I run. Oh, here we go. Here I am. Let me do this real quick. Do this because I see the sun going down. Here's the second lip, so let's get a real. Let's make sure this is all symmetrical. Let's fall down. Hello, Mr. Bunny. And see how this is looking like. Alright, it's looking like a something. Alright, let me break this off and see if it looks any better with all these excess blocks out of the way. Alright, here we are. Back. And this is what I did. Wow, in retrospect, that looks like a thing. Alright, let me clear this out. So what I'm thinking of doing is making it a little bit, not making it like strict box or like normal. I want it to look very commercial, but with limited space that you would normally have, you also need, a lot of advertisement space on your own building. So here you can see I have like a boat and a hammer thing, and it's basically signifying that this is like a boat repair shop. So here you can see I have like a backdrop and a second story that's inset. I ran out of yellow clay. If not, you would see the second story a little bit better. But there you see. Oh, I'm scratching my head there. There you can see I have the hammer going down on that, and this is small scale. It's gonna be like very cartoony in that way, but like fun cartoony, not cartoony as in like a cartoon. So here, I'm trying to tell you guys that those are not windows. I ran out of clay, so all that cobblestone means it's going to be full. The granite, those are the doors. Over here, this is your display area. This is where you're going to display whatever you're doing. Right here, it's going to be blocked off, display area. Over here, it's going to be, where you buy things and you interact with people. Over here are going to be the chests and stuff. And, did I talk about this anymore? No, and then a nice view of the outside. Again, this is a temporary building. This is just for me to show you and, for me to get a feel of what it's like. Let me run back to the village. As you can see, the sun is setting, and like I said before, I got to make sure I'm either really far away from the village or I'm close enough that I'm able to fall asleep. I should, carry around a bed, but man, inventory space in this game is so limited. If I could just get like a backpack or like anything, it would be great. So let me sleep. Um, now let's run back. Oh, I need to be careful not to run through this area with carrots in my hand, because in any direction I run, there are at least 6 rabbits in the area. If you look hard enough, you'll find them all, and they will follow me. If you guys didn't know, actually, rabbits 100% eat your matured carrots, your crops. And I found this out because I thought that like the villagers were uprooting them. They weren't. Like I thought they were uprooting them and like um the rabbits were eating them, but it wasn't. I threw a carrot at a rabbit and they did nothing. So they eat them when they're fully grown. So the more you know. I had no idea. But yeah, this is sort of the idea I'm going for. It's going to be like a building's right up close to the road, and normally I don't like that. I don't like a building being right next to the road. I like a little space in between them, but I want to make it feel claustrophobic but yet comfortable and homey, if that makes any sense. So this is sort of the idea. I'm not going to make it all monotone either. I do want to throw in different colors and different textures. I just, this is what I had, and I needed to get an episode out today because I want this to be out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but because I just started this on Monday, I had very little time to do this all. Also, did you guys know? It takes a long time to, as compared to other blocks, to um, mine clay. It takes a while, and when you're not mindlessly doing it, it becomes a chore. I broke 1 pick already, and that was my 2nd pick, and now we're starting on my 3rd. So it takes a while. It takes a lot. I'm gonna need to get an enchanting station going, and that'll probably be next episode. I also want to make a manual sugarcane farm, not an automatic one, because I want what is it called? If you remember from the first episode, which was last episode, and if you watched it, I hope you remember, there was a villager that we trapped who had a really good shovel trade. I think it was 5 emeralds for like a Unbreaking 2 efficiency 2 iron shovel. So I need emeralds to do that, and I need sugarcane, and I have like 3 or 4 librarians in my village who have great paper trade. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. As you see here, I'm gonna always diverse it up. Maybe put like a flower boxes here and there. Like I said, I want to make it claustrophobic, but I want to make it feel homey. Almost like if you want to imagine if you played Assassin's Creed, or if anybody watch Assassin's Creed. What was that sentence? If you watch anybody play Assassin's Creed, it'll feel like that with cobble like streets and the streets going right up next to buildings because you don't need, sidewalks when you don't have cars. So just think of that. And not Unity. Don't think of Unity. Don't make yourself sad. But yeah, I sort of want to make it not really cubey, but I want to have not just one rectangle or one shape. I want it to be several shapes, or like, several sizes, not just that. Here, I'm gonna show you that I don't remember where, you would have heard it if the in-game sound existed, but it made the really creepy sound, and it was really loud, and I couldn't, avoid talking about it. I can now, but I go on this tangent for a little bit. So, there's a ravine somewhere down here. There's a cave that I covered up with sand, but it was a while ago, and I no longer remember where it is. And you see here, this is my last attempt. I was certain it was here, but then I saw the sandstone, and I was like, nope, not here. My bad, my B. So it's somewhere around here. I just don't remember where. That is, again, my B. I also decided I wasn't going to eat because it was really, really loud, and I don't remember which sound setting it is on. Alright, so here, this entire area is going to be the village. It's going to be right next to this water. I'm debating whether or not I want to lower it a little bit, so you have more direct access to the water. I want a pier. I want some docks. I want a lot of fishing related stuff. And something that I didn't tell you beforehand, but right straight here, if I go, I don't, let's see, if it goes up on that side, it's east, and it sets on the west. So if I go south that way, 1,000 blocks, like literally 1,000 blocks that way, there's a guardian farm or a guardian temple. So I want to make this a sort of a. I want to do. If you guys watch Doc M77, he did this railway to his guardian temple and back. And I want to do that, and I want this to be the village that goes to it. Because, again, I want this to be a village of all fishy things and all aquatic things. Even though I don't have much need for. I don't really like a lot of the new blocks for anything I'm doing right now. I like the blocks, I just don't like them for anything I'm doing at the moment. Except possibly the lamps. I really enjoy the lamps, but I don't know if they'll fit or not. I'm thinking more jack-o'-lanterns. But like I said, I don't want to mess with this village. If anything, I'll put more doors into it because I want more villagers. Um, oh, no, that one has one. But there's a couple of these houses that don't. And also for enchanting, I'm not too worried because I have two of these buildings with, what are they called? Bookshelves in them. And I believe there are 7 in each building. So that leaves me with one bookshelf I have to make myself. And I believe I have 3 leather. I've killed a couple of cows, so I think I have 3 leather. And I know I have a bunch of reeds. So for next episode, you can expect game sounds again. I'll double check my settings. I'll triple check them because I did double check them. So next time we'll make the sugarcane farm. I'll have a lot more time to research stuff and research stuff about zombies so I can start doing stuff in test worlds so I can see what I need to do in my building to prevent zombie sieges from happening. I will have a new skin looking a lot more dapper than I am right now. I'm gonna make an enchanting area, so I'm gonna start enchanting some stuff and things so I don't have to worry about my iron tools always breaking. And is it nighttime? Not nighttime. Good. There's one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, if you guys have any ideas or any pictures of things you want to suggest, or you want me to add, or ideas for buildings or shops that I can add in the village, feel free to tell me down below. Like I said, I'm going sort of for like a Mexico, Spain, Greece type of hybrid feeling, but I want it to feel like I don't want to say farmer's market because that's not what it's called. It's called Centro, and it's sort of like a farmer's market, but it always is there, and it's usually downtown and easily accessible to everyone. And it doesn't have roads for cars. It's like I said, old school France where you were able to just walk on cobble floors without being afraid of being trampled by a car or run over, I guess is the right word. So, yeah, look forward to me. I might do a little bit of work, but no solid work probably on the village until I have a good idea. I have the whole weekend to research a whole bunch of things, build and record, and so expect an action-packed episode on Tuesday of a lot of me building things and creating things, maybe even a little montage or two. Who knows? The world is my oyster, and luckily for you guys, you get to see my oyster. That sounds bad. If you didn't read Tipping Velvet or watch Tipping Velvet, that might not mean anything to you. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Do I do the thing where, oh yeah, I need to I need to get more stuff. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to be nice to each other. Don't forget to be compassionate, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!